Namaste. Story time. Jyoti, you wanted me to tell you what exactly happened during partition. This book is Freedom at Midnight by Larry Collins and Dominic Lapierre. If there is one book that can tell you the truth about partition, it is this book. Freedom at Midnight by Larry Collins and Dominic Lapierre. It's the most authentic, most reliable, most real account of the Indian partition. And Jyoti, I am reading page 444, 445, and 446. So this is Freedom at Midnight, pages 444, 445, and 446. Okay? Pakistan had been declared as a Muslim country. In Muslim areas, Hindus were sometimes offered the choice of converting to Islam or fleeing Pakistan. Bagdas, a Hindu farmer, lived in a hamlet west of Lyalpur, and he and 300 other fellow Hindus were marched into a mosque in the neighboring village. The mosque had a pond next to it. Their feet was washed in the pond, and all these 300 Hindus were then herded into the mosque near Lyalpur. They were ordered to sit cross-legged on the floor. The Maulvi of Lyalpur read a few verses of the Quran. Now, he told them, you have a choice. Either become Muslims and live happily or get killed. We preferred the former, acknowledged Bagdas. Each convert was given a new Muslim name and made to recite a verse from the Quran. They were then taken into the mosque courtyard where a cow was roasting. One by one, the Hindus were made to eat a piece of its flesh. Das, a vegetarian until that instant, had a vomiting sensation, but he controlled it because he thought, I will be killed, obviously, if I don't eat this cow meat and do as they command. Bagdas's neighbor was a Brahmin. He asked permission to take his wife and 3 children back to his hut to get his special wedding plate in view of the importance of the new moment. Flattered, the Muslim captors agreed. The Brahmin had a knife hidden in his house, Das remembered. When he got home, he took it from his hiding place. He cut his wife's throat, then the throats of his 3 children, then he stabbed his own heart. The Brahmin, his wife, and his 3 children did not return to eat the cow meat. In another corner of Lahore, something else was similarly happening. Sardar Prem Singh, a Sikh, was a moneylender. He lived in a huge 2-story house with a big iron gate in a village near Sialkot. As a moneylender, he was one of the richest people in the village. Sardar Prem Singh himself recounts, I belonged to a very rich family. I had a big double-storied mansion with strong iron gates in the front. Everybody in the village knew I was a rich man. Every Muslim in the village had mortgaged their jewel, their gold chain, or their silver plate with me at some point of time. I kept all these mortgaged items in a big iron safe. At some point in his life, almost every Muslim of Sialkot had been my creditor and had mortgaged something or the other with me. One morning, right after independence, Prem saw a milling mob of Muslims streaming towards his house, brandishing clubs, crowbars, and knives. He recognized almost every Muslim in the crowd. They had all been his customers at one point of time or the other. Break the gates, the safe, they shouted. But Prem Singh's safe did not just contain the mortgage jewels, it had something else. Locked inside his safe was a double-barreled shotgun with 25 cartridges. Prince Singh opened the safe, grabbed the gun, and rushed to the second floor. For an hour, he ran from window to window, defending his home from the mob trying to beat into the gate. As he did so, an appalling scene was taking place on the floor below. Certain that the Muslim mob was going to break into the house and not sure if her husband could keep such a huge mob at bay with just 25 bullets, Prem Singh's wife doused herself with kerosene. Then she doused all the five daughters with kerosene. Then she set fire to all her five daughters and then set fire to herself. On the second floor, as he was battling a huge mob of Muslims, Prince Singh got a horrible stench, but he was so busy fighting the Muslims he couldn't go down to the first floor to check what was happening. Finally, when he had just five bullets left, the mob, probably thinking he had more bullets, finally decided to back off. And when the last of the Muslims retreated, Prince Singh went down and checked where the stench was coming from. The stench was the burnt body of his own wife and his own daughters, who had burnt themselves rather than getting raped and converted. Tomorrow, I'll read the story of the train full of dead bodies, and tomorrow, I'll read the story of Sheikhpura. But these are the Muslims that Gandhiji asked us to forgive. And don't ever tell me that all gods are the same. My God never asked me to do such heinous things. My God never commanded me to do all this. Don't tell me all gods are the same, and don't remind me that Gandhiji has asked me to forgive these people. I'll read some more stories tomorrow. Thank you.